Former Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Inusah Fuseini, has revealed the Chinese exerted pressure from all corners to get him to abandon their mission to rid the small-scale mining sector of the galamsey illegality. Responding to a Facebook post by private legal practitioner Asan Koma on how to clamp down on the galamsey menace using available laws, the Tamale Central MP stressed in the post that when someone is committing a crime against your person or the state, you do not beg the perpetrator to stop. You use the coercive power of the state to stop the continuous commission of that crime. Let's go back onto the telephone. Honorable Inusah Fuseini, the Tamale Central MP, is joining us on the telephone. Honorable, good evening and thank you very much for your time. It's been a while.
Thank you. And how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So when you spoke about pressure being mounted, exerted by the Chinese from all corners, what kinds of pressures were these?
You will not understand the level and intensity of the pressure that was mounted on me to abandon the mission unless you were in the driving seat. It came from all corners. You know, at that time we were pursuing a facility from China Development Bank, CDB facility, and releases from the CDB were slowed down. Where I mean, the Chinese government put all manner of impediments on the way of government to access the CDB. That was directly to what I was doing on the small-scale mining sector. You recall the visa, the introduction of requirement for visa for Ghanaians, I mean, from who were traveling to China, and the fact that they had to send the visas to China for approval before a person who wanted to travel to China could be granted a visa. That was linked to the work that I was doing at the small-scale mining sector, and many more matters were brought to. I mean, the pressure was brought to bear on me to try to stop me from pursuing my the illegal miners on the small-scale mining side.
Interesting. So we also know that the mission to arrest and deport these Chinese illegal galamsey operators was halted along the line. Many of them, we know, are still in business in our country. Can you tell us whether these pressures you talk about also came to bear on the reasons why these Chinese were not deported?
Well, the Chinese were deported. I mean, I deported about 5,500 Chinese nationals. I deported about over 100 nationals of other African countries. I mean, they were deported. The Chinese were deported, but they have come back. They've come back into the mining sector. You know, and when I was reading the minister this morning, I became alarmed because he thought that the approach we used was brutal and probably that's why the Chinese have come back, or we have not been able to solve the small-scale mining. I mean, the illegalities in the small-scale mining sector. I think that he's gotten it wrong there. With the greatest respect, I mean, the laws of this country frown upon illegal mining. It's a law. I mean, every minister will have to swear by whichever faith he professes to uphold the laws, the constitution and the laws of this country. My understanding of what was happening in the small-scale mining sector was that the people were violating the laws of this country. And when somebody violates the laws of your country, you don't beg that fellow to stop. Just like when somebody comes to your house and defecates in front of your house. I mean, you don't beg that fellow to collect the feces that he has dropped in front of your house. You compel him to collect the feces. That's not where they defecate.
So let's focus on this begging issue a little bit more. There are those who have said that begging in terms of diplomatic subtlety is not exactly bad if you are managing. You're working with I mean, Chinese, we could say, our business counterparts in terms of development. We've gone to them for development assistance and all of that. So in terms of begging, is it wrong to use subtle diplomatic means. I'll put it that way, rather than begging. Is that approach wrong?
First of all, to target, to limit what you are going to do in the small scale mining sector to the Chinese is to beg the question. We are approaching the issue of the pollution of our water bodies, the issue of the degradation of our lands, the issue of the cutting down the cocoa trees, the issue of insecurity in small-scale mining areas, the issue of the open pits that are left by illegal mining, which consume lives of children who are on their way to school, who fail to see pits which are open and flooded with water. That's what we are talking about. So we are talking about how to ensure that, one, the resources of this country are used for the benefit of the people. Two, we are talking about how the resources of this country can be exploited in an environmentally sustainable manner. So it is about Ghana. It is not about the diplomatic relations between Ghana and China. No, this is not foreign affairs. This is environment. This is domestic. When we don't have water to drink in Ghana, it doesn't affect the people in China.
Right, Honorable, we're grateful for your time this evening, although very brief. Thank you very much, Honorable Inusah Fuseini. The area of the Ashanti region, you can see there, these are aerial shots that have come in, drone footage. You could see the extent of destruction to the land surface and the river water bodies. It's unbelievable what this portrays, and we definitely cannot allow this as a country to continue. And the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, John Peter Amewu, says galamsey operators and those who gave out the lands will be arrested and prosecuted. The minister was addressing a Chinese delegation that called on him to discuss the involvement of Chinese nationals in galamsey in Ghana.
And that's the water.
Yes, I see. Getting yellow.
If there's pollution of water body through cyanide and mercury, and it has to take me the next 3 years to die, of course they are killing me. It's equal. I also getting them and bringing them down. So we need to take decisive action. What we are witnessing today is not an issue of regulations in a confined way. It's total lawlessness. And I'm very happy that, as we saw from the CEO of Minerals Commission, some people have even been arrested, including your own people. We will be needing a lot of support with you. The introduction of the MMIP, which is the Multilateral Mining Integration Project, it's not a project that is stopping the illicit or the lawlessness, but it's a project that will make the mining more sustainable in an environmental friendly manner if we are able to take away this difficulty. As a policy direction, the ministry is also coming up collaborations with the commission to make sure that we introduce a middle scale mining approach. That again, a lot of your people can come in and make sure that they do it and do it properly. So, but this one, we have to address it. We need to do this one very quickly.
You're still watching News at 10. We're live on TV3 and also on 3FM 92.7. You can hear us on the TuneIn app on your mobile phone if you're logged in. We're also streaming live on 3news.com. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back.